Welcome everyone. So today what we're looking at is creating a documentation tool using H5P on WordPress. And this is a great tool for documenting processes or creating project plans, reflecting on projects, setting up any type of process. And it's got different pages. It's got different, you can add text, you can add input fields, images, you can set goals, you can rate or assess goals, and you can export all of the text that you've inputted, all of the project that you've created. So for us, I created something very short, but I used all of the elements that are available with this module. So for us, we're using it as a project documentation tool, kind of a project plan / documentation. Name of our project, we called it Project X. Date of our project, 2021. I'll just say 1/1. And give that 4 years. So you can see you can make the fields, you can make these input fields required with that red asterisk. So it is required and it will recognize it if someone doesn't enter. It also has character limits that you can set. You've got bigger input fields with no character limits if you don't want to set. This is a project, so we collect information about the project in the first page. You can add images, and we'll go to the next page, and the next page we can add goals. So you can add as many goals as you want. So just go goal 1. There is a goal here somewhere. So I've set my goals. I've got 3-4 goals here. You can delete or you can keep them, and then you can go to the next page, goal assessment. So you can set these criteria. You only have 3 criteria, but you can change them. So for me, I put haven't started, 50% or 100% to keep track of how much I've finished. So goal 1 and 2, I didn't do any. Goal 3, I finished 50%, and goal 4, I finished 100%. That is kept track of. And the last one is the export page. I can create a document out of all of the information that I've put in, and this is what the document will look like. So I've got my project info. That's all the stuff from the project info page. Goal assessment, goals that I haven't started, 1 and 2, goal that I've 50% completed, goal 3, and goal that I've finished, that is goal 4. And what you can do is you can export it as a Microsoft Word document that is nicely formatted, or you can select, copy, paste it somewhere, or you can go back and change. So this is what we're looking at. Let's take a look at how we can create this and how we can use it. Let's get started. So creating a documentation tool using H5P on WordPress. So what you want to do is you want to come down to your H5P content and you want to add new content. And you want to find the module called documentation tool. If it's not installed, you can click on get to install it. Once it's installed, you can click on it to start creating your documentation tool. We'll give this a title. We'll just call it documentation tool. That is the heading. Also documentation tool. And like we said, this is great for creating plans or goal setting activities or milestones, or if you want to document the process of doing something, any type of process, you can do it through this tool. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the pages, and for each page we're going to add a different type of content. So you've got page types. and you've got 4 different types of pages. You got standard page, goals and assessment page, and a document export page. We're going to create one for each, and we're going to do them in the order that they are in. So first, we're going to add the standard page. The meta title here, we'll just call it a standard page. And in this page, you can add either text input fields, or an image. So you can add a text where you can say, welcome to the project tracking, let's call it an app, just for the fun of it. So that's just the text, that's it. It's just a piece of text. And the next element, you can add an input field. So description, name of project. What is the name of the project? And the placeholder text is the text that will show up in the input field. If it's empty, just says put your project name here. Maximum length, we're not going to put a maximum length of characters, or actually we will. We don't want huge names, so we'll put maybe 150 characters. And the input field size, it will just be 1 line. Required field, yes, this field is required. We're going to add another one that's another input field, and this is the description for the input field, and this is the start date of the project. What is the start date of the project? Placeholder, enter your date. We'll just put a format here, year, month, day. Maximum length, we'll just say maybe 20 characters. You don't need, we'll just put 50 in case somebody wants to put something else, just a little note on the side. Input field, 1 line. Required field, yes, it is required. We'll add another one, and let's call this one call it the end date of the project. So this is when are you gonna finish this project by? When do you expect to finish this project? And then I'll put the format again, year, month, and day. And we'll just give this 150 characters max. And this is also required. So we've got 3 elements now. 3 text elements: name, start date, end date. And we'll add one more, and we'll call this another one's text. We'll call this describe your project. So this is the project description. So this should be text field input, or input field. Describe your project, and would just be describe your project. Maximum length, we'll put here no maximum length. Actually, we'll leave it blank, no maximum length, and we're gonna make this a big input field because we want a long description. And also required. Good. And last thing, we'll add an element. That's the only element left here, is the image element. You can add an image. do I have anything I want to put here? I have got a picture. We'll just put this picture here of a pen, a pencil. Call it pencil. Okay, we don't want to add any more elements, so this is label for help text. More information. More information will be in here. I don't have any more information. So I'm done with my first page, and that is the standard page, and it accepts text, input fields, and images. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create this to see what it looks like, just to show you what the first page will look like. Okay, so we have our welcome message. That is the text that we've entered that says welcome to the project tracking app. We've got our first input field. Put the name or name of your project. Put the name of your project in here. Project X. Start date. So this is required. It's got the red asterisk. So I'll just put 2021. Whatever the date is today. I'm not really sure. 05. Just say 0505. And then the end date, when do you expect to finish this project? So this is the message. That's the placeholder text here. It kind of describes what they need, and it's got the remaining characters as well. As you type, the remaining characters change. And here I'll just say 2025 05 05. So 4 years, this project. And then describe your project, and you have this big 10-line input field, and under it we have a picture. This is the picture that I have inserted. So this picture is meaningless, but you can have a picture at the start, something that is cooler than this. But as you can see, this is also required, but I won't know. And this is the last thing we did, the more information. You click on it and it says more information will be found here, that you can add more information. And on the left side you have a panel of all the pages that you see, and this is called standard page. That is the first one. So I'm gonna go back to edit. And instead of the title being standard page, I'll call it the project info. We'll just call it project info. All right, so we have our first page. We're happy with it. Not so much with the picture, but I don't really care about the picture. I'm gonna add a new page, and you can add as many pages as you want. So this is, but you're only restricted to 4 types of pages. You can be creative and you can make different uses out of one type of page. So the second page is the goals page. So we'll call it project goals. No need for page. So in here you can insert as many, or the user can insert as many project goals as they want. So this is the prompt. It says enter the goals that you have chosen to work with. Enter your project goals here. So the link or the button will carry the phrase create a new goal. I just want to change that to say add a new goal. User defined goals. So once a user creates a goal, we'll just call it my goal. And for the placeholder, we'll say enter your goal, be as specific as you can. This is just the extra prompt here. Then you got text indicating how many goals have been added. So it will be goals added, and then it will display the numbers of the number of the goals that you've added. And specification, text for specifying goals, or specify goal button. Text for remove goal, and label for help, more information. We'll just say more information. Let's see what that looks like. Click on update. That is our second page, the project goals. So I've got first page, now it's called project info. Second page, project goals. You can navigate to it from up top or from down bottom. And here it says project goals. Enter your project goals. And here, that's the text we added. Add a new goal instead of create a new goal. And it says here, enter your goal and be as specific as you can. Called this is my first goal. Okay, so it says one goal added. Again, second one, you can add as many goals as you want. Just say 2. And 3. That's it. So if I go back, come back, my goals are in here. You can delete a goal. Not much to it. So first you give your project information, then you specify what your goals are. Go back to edit. We'll add the third page. And the third page is the goals assessment. So after you've added your goals, then you assess your goals. You say goals assessment description. It says rate the goals that you have chosen in the goals page. So how well or how much of these goals did you achieve? How many of these goals did you achieve, and how much of each goal did you achieve? So let's say 10%, 50%, 100%. You have not chosen any goals, so feedback when no goals have been created. So if you don't create any goals, then in this page you will see this message. Label for help, that's top right corner. So let me show you what that looks like now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna update. So there's not much else you can do in this page. Project 111 222 333. Go to the next one. We're gonna add 3 goals. This is goal 1, goal 2, and goal 3. So look at what this page is gonna look like now. So now I've got my goals 1, 2, and 3, and for each goal I can select how much I've completed. So it says rate the goals that you have chosen in the goals page. So in this page, what you can do is you can say how many goals have you completed if the project has been completed, or if you come back, let's say midway through the project, if you set milestones, So if you're reporting, maybe you're reporting milestones 3 times during the project, you come back the first time, you go through the goals, you say how much you finished, 10%, 50%, or 100% of that goal. So goal 1, I finished 50%, goal 2, I finished 10, or maybe you can put this as 0. And the last one, I finished 100%. So that's one way to do it. What you can do is you can also rate if this is a project plan. So before the project even begins, what you can change this page to is you can change it to, for example, priority. What priority does each goal have? And that could be like low priority, medium priority, and high priority. And you can prioritize your goals on this page if you're still in the planning phase of your project. So that's another use that you can have out of this. So let me go back. And I want to go back to my 3rd page, and I want to say how much of each goal have you finished? And I think one of them should be 0%, as in, or just say none, or haven't started. And then 50% and 100%. You can't add any more criterias. So they give you 3 criterias to work with, and that's what you have. You can't add any more. All right, so that's it for the goal assessment page. And finally, we have our document export page. We'll call it export your project plan. Description: on this page, you can choose to export your text, goals, and goal assessments. Just say you will export. So there's a create a document button. We'll leave it as create document. So this it takes all the text you've inputted and it turns it into a Word document, and it's formatted. So you can download it and then you can email it to someone or send it to someone. And then you have text that is on the submit button to submit. Submit success, your report has been successfully submitted. That's normal, we won't change that. Select all exportable text. So you can click on it to kind of select all the text that you have inserted. So all it does is highlights all the text. And then you can copy it and then paste it anywhere you want. So you have create document button and you have an export text label. So you can export, after creating a document, you can export your project information. And also you have help, just get more information. So this is required input missing. So if you miss one of the inputs that has the red asterisk, you will get this message. It will tell you to go back on that page. So it has a reference to that page, and it will tell you to go back to that page. You're missing something there. This is the last page. But I mean, you can still add as many pages as you want, but we won't. So I don't want to display any toolbars under my activity. Let's take a look at what this looks like now. Let's fill this out. We'll call it Project X 2021 55 2025 55. It's a secret project. No one knows about this. It's a secret project. That's the first page done. Add new goal. To get more projects. Do more projects. These are my goals. You know, it makes sense. And number 3, have more projects. So I've got my 3 goals now. Goals assessment. So how much have I done of this? I've done 0%, 0%, and I've done 50%. Having more projects. Now let's look at the last page that we created. So on this page, you will export your text, goals, and assessments. So you have this button that says create the document, and this will take all the text that you've inputted and it will create a document out of it. Create a document. And that's what it looks like now. You can click on X, that'll take you back, or you can create document. This is what the document looks like. Select, like I said, we'll select, highlight all of the text. So the document, project info, that's the page name, name of project, project X, start date, end date, description of the project, goals assessment, projects or goals that you haven't started. These are the goals that you haven't started, and these are the goals that you have finished 50% of. 1, 2, 3. You can add another page, for example, for reflection, to reflect on the project. That would just be a standard page and it would be just an input field. Which you can just, the user can write a paragraph or an essay about the project. So one thing you notice here is that there is no submit button. So the submit button should allow the user to submit all of this document to you, but that button doesn't exist. And I've also checked the forum, that button doesn't exist. It would have been great if it actually did exist. That would be it would be like a form. It would be a very customizable form where you can have people write essays or emails or anything, or submit project plans. But unfortunately, that functionality is not there. So what you can do is you can export this. So you can click on export, and it will be downloaded as a .docs file. And I can show you what that looks like. That should open up. So this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like in Office. So it downloads it as a document tool, and it's already formatted, and it's got the project info and the goal assessments, and whatever pages you add will all be formatted correctly. So you can just download it and save it or send it off to wherever you want. Okay, so these are all the options that are available. Like I said, you can add as much as you want to it, change it as much as you want. To get this on your website, you grab the shortcode on the right hand side and you add it to a new post or a new page. In this case, we're gonna add it to a new post. Okay, let's give it a name. We'll call it number 35. Documentation tool. And we're gonna add a new block, and this block should be a shortcode block. We paste our shortcode in here and we click publish. Yes, publish. And let's view our post to see what it looks like. Right, so this is what it looks like. The image should probably get rid of. I don't need it, but it looks exactly like that. You can navigate through this. So if you get to the export page and you haven't filled in the stuff, it says the following page contains required fields that you need to fill. That's the project info page, and it highlights all the fields that you missed, which is really cool. 2, 3, 4. Add some goals. You can add as many goals as you want. You can go to the next. You can just give them anything, and at the end create document, and it gives you the document. You can export, select, or you can go back. It's really handy, very specific use, but it's very handy. You can probably go without it, but I think there isn't another tool for project documentation that is so easy to set up and can be as useful. The only thing it's missing again is the submit button. If there was a submit button, then you can just put this on your website and capture the user's submissions. It would be perfect. But that's something you can suggest to the developers. I'm sure they'll be open to suggestions. But that's it. That's what it looks like. If you have any questions, any comments, or if you used this for a cooler purpose than I did, if you created something imaginative out of it, please let me know. Post it in the comments. I'm really interested in seeing what you guys can make out of this. All right, thank you, and I will see you next time.